Okay, so Brian, lift your brachial, put your solar over your sacral plexus. And right here, Melinda, when you get through in here, you don't get rotated far enough out. Brian might be keeping too much tension in his hand, but this hip right here needs to rotate out. So you can see right there is as far as you got. This foot should be in alignment with where you're heading, which should be right here before you do this turn to your hip.
Should be right where? Do it again.
Right in here in your line of dance. So you're already cutting back. So you're doing some positioning that Brian should be doing. And as you go through here, this elbow needs to be dropped already, which is going to create some awkward positions. This is beautiful. This hand's coming around, your head's already looking down line of dance, although this foot right here should be in a line with this foot in regard to line of dance. You can see that you're stepping away from Brian right here instead of traveling on a straighter line, starting to drop down in front of you. So it's already lifted. So you're holding your frame more through your back rather than through your chest. Chest needs to be a little bit lifted, more energy forward in the body rather than in the back. And again, if you were rotating on this foot, you wouldn't have this foot position right here. This open arm right here is going to allow you to bring your feet together in a turn instead of taking a step out. As you're going through these barrel rolls, see how you're looking at each other? When that hand gets a shoulder height right there, both your heads need to be looking down your line of dance. And that needs to be consistently done. See how late your heads are? That's why you're having a hard time getting your arms through, is because your heads are facing out away from each other. And which is also going to create, see how your steps are traveling away from each other? So these are just going to consistently get worse as you go through. You're going to continue to get further away unless you compensate like this and step closer to each other. Brian, you're a little bit bent over right here. What you've done is you're trying to hit your line a little earlier than Melinda. You should be a little bit later on your line. Okay. Now Melinda, as you go through here, your chin is too close to your chest. You need to lift this up. If I back this up a little bit as you're going into right here, see how you've dropped your head way down, your chin? This needs to stay lifted. Looks like you've gotten a little gun shy of this hand hitting you in the back of the head. And part of that is because the fact that this is dropped. This needs to be lifted, which will take this hand further back from you. It'll lift your posture up higher through your brachial. Another key thing right here, when you are doing your free spins, see where you're spotting? And again, this is going to have an effect on your forward foot placement. You can see that you guys are going to start heading toward each other because you're spotting on each other. Make sure you get your spot down line of dance. That way your footwork will line up with your line of dance, and you won't have the desire here to dance away from each other. What you see is you see each other coming at you. You see Brian coming at you, and Brian, you see Melinda coming at you, and so you're going to start adjusting. Brian, you're pretty late on your spot right here. You really don't need to spot on each other until you're ready to come out of that rotation. Coming out of your free spin. This line never finishes. So make sure you get a chest expansion here, which will send the arm out and send some energy out the arm. Okay, so that was your 3, and if you notice, you're both lowered on your 3. That's created because your second step is short and you're rising too quickly. Think about driving your 1 and your 2 the same distance, and then when you hit your height, go from your 2 up to your 3 and use it as a land. Don't take a big step. If you take a big step, your center has to fall. Now your chin here could be lifted as well, and so could Brian. Both of your eyes are a little bit further down. If you look at your competitor right here, her chin's actually lifted a little bit higher, even though it could still be lifted even more. But your chin, Melinda, could go up at least another 1.5 inches. And so could Brian's. Nice line. Again, you're lowering on your 3 pretty consistently through here, and that is because your You're rising too quickly on your 2. You're going to grab distance in waltz by taking your large 2. So the fact that you're taking a large 1, a shorter 2, and a larger 3 is taking away some of the softness of the emotion of the dance as well. Both of you are a little bit late. When there's a lowering from the 3 to the 1, you want to extend the next drive step, or the 1. You guys are a little bit late as far as getting that leg out there from the lower. You tend to lower into both knees rather than lowering as the foot passes. So watch his shapes here. See, he shaped this direction, Melinda, you shaped the opposite. Your upper body is what's creating your projection or your energy projection down the floor. Let your feet, again, be the first energy that moves down the floor, and then connect the body up shortly thereafter. About once your foot gets out, you start reaching through your foot, because right now you both have a tendency to push from the weighted foot. Reach the foot out and use the energy of the leg moving down the floor to propel you forward. Don't use the weighted foot to propel from.